Hiya! Another live action Whisper video. This time we're going over patch notes because we got our first week of patch notes now. That's exciting stuff. So overall, Night Stalker damage bonus reduced. We all saw it coming. Night Stalker was crazy. I don't know if this is enough. It might still need to go down even further. But 510 is definitely a lot better than 815, I think, in terms of like all the snapshotting stuff that was happening, especially with Kingsbane. So that's a good change, I think. The elusiveness change here, this is quite interesting. So elusiveness has a damage reduction on evasion, just flat, right? Just a flat damage reduction on evasion. It was 10%, which was not really that much to write home about. 20% overall reduction, though, is like getting somewhere. It's like getting to a good place. So elusiveness next tier, maybe? No cheat death? I don't know. But elusiveness this tier was already pretty good. So at 20%, that's shaping up to be a lot better. The assassination stuff, this Venom Rush change really confuses me. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea why this is a thing. And we'll look at the tree later in order to like analyze the changes a little bit more. But the change from venomous wounds from 6 to 8 also came off as really weird because it was speeding up the spec, right? It speeds up assassination. And then bringing Venom Rush down from 7 to 6 was a weird change week 1. And now we're going from 6 to 5. Which I don't like. If the aim is to slow down the spec, this is not how to do it. Like, you just don't do it like this. You have to nerf Venomous Wounds again. Or the dashing. I'm surprised, like, I don't see dashing on here. It still gives 2 energy. It's crazy. Venom Rush is not really a problem, so I thought Venom Rush was fine even at 7. Like, at 6, it's, I don't know, fine. 5 is like, now Venom Rush is getting kind of weak. Especially with Vicious Venoms, like, increasing the energy cost. I don't know. It's weird. Weird stuff. Kingsbane, we all saw it coming. Kingsbane was crazy. Kingsbane was absolutely cracked. Especially with all of the Night Stalker, Shadow Dance stuff happening. So, that's a good change. Internal bleeding damage reduction here, I don't really know if this was necessary. Like, it was good, but in any situation where you would take internal bleeding, you would lose caustic spatter, and you wanted to take caustic spatter for anything AoE, so this was basically just a single target reduction. And I don't really think that this was this crazy. I didn't play too much with internal bleeding, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I tested a little bit with it, but it didn't seem that insane to me on first glance. We'll have to see what this ends up being. But I think that internal bleeding now and single target is just kind of meh. Just meh. It's still good. It's just not great. I don't know. Maybe they have numbers I don't. Now this is the interesting one. We can't test this yet, but Exsanguinate got the energy threshold went up, so you have a little bit more room to cast. But it is also a little bit harder to be above 150, right? You have to pool for Exsanguinate, like I talked about in my video. But it consumes 4 energy, which is a good change versus the 8. So before, with it being 8 energy, it would completely nullify. Oh, hello, cat. It would completely nullify your Venomous Wounds, right? Because Venomous Wounds is 8, this is 8, they balance each other out. Now with it being at 4, it should feel a lot worse. It shouldn't feel that bad, is what I meant to say. But you should still be gaining energy now, right? You're still gaining 4, which is less than what you're getting in 10.17 right now. In 10.17 right now, you're getting 6. But in this case, you're going to be getting 4, so it's slower than what 10.17 is right now, as long as you're above the threshold. I think it's a good change. The active was consuming 8 and duplicate 75%. It's the same thing, basically, right? The active version of Exsanguinate was just eating way too much energy. Elaborate planning being removed entirely means that we just always get cut to the chase now. Cut to the chase is just always back in. So let's take a look at some talent trees. Hello, cat. My cat is back. Being annoying. You not do this right now? Okay, buddy. Sure. There. Wanna say hi? Oh, you wanna say hi to YouTube? There. Get a look at my monster collection as well. So anyways, as I was looking at, Venom Rush here, going from 6 to 5. In a single target build, you're sort of looking at something, okay. Oh, okay, goodbye, cat. This is a disaster. Anyways, in sort of a single target scenario, you were looking at something like this, right? Where you would just barely open this up. Maybe you wouldn't take Doomblade, maybe you'd take Internal Bleeding, but the rest of this was sort of locked in, right? So you would take Amplifying, you'd take Systemic Failure. Venom Rush off to the side here is just kind of weird. Like, if you're trying to get, for example, the active version of Exsanguinate, you would drop the Venom Rush point here, because it wouldn't block you out of anything, and you could still go all the stuff that you would, right? Still do this. So, the competition here for Venom Rush is like something like Exsanguinate, something like Doomblade. Like if you want to go Sepsis, right? You can't really go Sepsis now because guess what? You run out of points. Where is that point coming from? Well, it's gonna probably come from Venom Rush, right? Like it's probably good. That's probably where it's coming from. Especially now that Lightweight Shiv is good, right? The other option is you drop Internal Bleeding for this, which also got nerfed. But in any sort of cleave situation, you would actually take Spatter because it's so strong. And now you would be looking at like this again, where you're like, okay, well maybe I take Exsanguinate now. Or like with the tier bonus, maybe I take Twist the Knife because I'm not envenoming as much in AoE. Well, guess what's dropping again? Venom Rush is dropping again. So I don't know. It's already kind of the candidate talent to get rid of in a lot of these permutations. So I'm not sure what removing the energy, like nerfing the energy another time is gonna do. But we'll see, I guess. I mean, it's all up to tuning. Now here, this was the really sort of, I don't want to say necessary, but wanted change. The elaborate planning here makes my finisher moves much stronger. But cut to the chase, obviously, auto keeps Slice and Dice up. This is much more beloved, and this is just kind of a generic passive. So this is just gone. We're just getting cut to the chase, and that is it. All it is. Now, the other change, Night Stalker, right? This is going from 15 to 10, so this makes Shadow Dance a lot less interesting. Well, not interesting. It's still just as interesting, but it makes it weaker, right? So, alternatively, right? Let's look at the alternatives. Alternatives, you could do this, right? And you would get Acrobatic Strikes as well. The other interesting thing that I was playing around with, which some people might hate, was if you take Marked for Death instead, you're now at 5 maximum combo points, right? You then swap this for Improved Ambush. And so if Ambush crits, it's getting 3 baseline plus an additional, plus the additional from Steel Fate. So you have 5, and Ambush would give you 4. Which means whenever Blindside procs and it crits, considering you have a lot of crit chance with Deadly Precision and the natural crit chance, hi cat, hello. You are just a Snugglebug. And you're gone again. Hey. It's gonna be critting a lot, is the point, right? And every time it's gonna give you 4 combo points. 4 combo points means you finish. So you can just ambush, finish, ambush, finish. This sounds especially good in Execute when this procs a lot. And what's even better is you can start this off with a Marked for Death, right? So you can Marked for Death, Venom. Then you can start getting improved ambushes out from blindside, right? And every time you ambush, finish, ambush, finish, ambush, finish, you're getting the 15% increased damage from finishing moves from the Marked for Death that you cast earlier, right? So another way that this could happen is you could use the Marked for Death on a Rupture, right? You could Mark for Death Rupture. That would give you Rupture, so you don't have to spend any combo points on that. And it would give you this damage of your finishing moves increased by 15 seconds. And then you have a 15-second window where you can go crazy with this ambush. So this combo here between these two feels kind of okay, actually. I don't hate it. It is another button that you have to play with, which is a little bit annoying. And the issue with Deeper Stratagem and Improved Ambush that I don't like is at 6 combo points, it gets really awkward. Because then Ambush is giving you 3 with a Seal Fate crit, or 2 without. So it's fine if you're getting 5, right? So if you have like crit, no crit, that's 5. If you have no crit and then crit, that's 5. But if you don't crit either one, you're at 4, which is awkward. And if you crit both, you're at 6, which barely fits in, and that's fine, but more often than not, but no matter what, you have to generate twice, sometimes 3 times. Whereas if you're playing Marked for Death, if you don't crit at all, you're just at max, right? There's no RNG, but if you do crit, you just finish. So it's a bit of a payoff, right? Like you go from needing to with Deeper Stratagem, you need to generate twice or 3 times. If you play Marked for Death, you need to generate twice only if you don't crit any of the times. Which, I don't know. I mean, that seems pretty good. The other thing to note is Deeper Stratagem just has 5% increased finishing move damage passively. So, I don't know if the payoff's there, but that's an interesting thing that I found. Obviously, Kingsbane is still incredibly good single target, but Shiv is also really good. So another thing that we were looking at was doing something like this, with Shiv hitting really hard. You could also obviously drop the Venom Rush for this. And there's also been builds where you try and go Doomblade, Serrated Bone Spike, or Sepsis, either one. Bone Spike for the lethal dose uptime. And then you kind of cross over like this. You skip Poison Bomb. That's also been something that has been talked about quite a bit. So those are kind of the ideas right now post balance change. Kingsbane, still very good, still on the menu. Cut to the chase, obviously auto pick. Internal Bleeding, really weird. I don't really know what's up with that. Venom Rush, also don't really know what's up with that. Shadow Dance here, still looking good, but not as good. You could still take Echoing Reprimand, get the Acro Strikes, and then there's some weird Marked for Death stuff that we don't know how good it is. But yeah, those are the patch notes. And we'll see what happens from there. I have testing on Thursday as well as Friday. So I will be around for that. I'll be streaming that on Twitch. Link is in the description, as always. If you guys want to see that, I'll also be doing breakdown videos for that, which I'll try and upload. And yeah, just in general, thank you a lot for the support. I didn't think that like the videos would have such a big feedback, but even just a week into PTR stuff, I'm like getting all these messages about like, oh, I love the content, I love watching it. It's perfect to watch at night, and like I don't mind the rambles at all. Like this is a pretty long video, but you guys don't seem to mind it. So, as long as you guys keep enjoying it, I'm gonna keep doing it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, but thank you guys really so much for the support. I had a bunch of people in stream today, watching and doing some PTR testing, and everyone was asking questions, having a good time. And that's really heartwarming to me because it brings the community together, and that's what I like to see. Anyways, more videos to come, exciting stuff, lots of changes, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.